In the Heat of the Night, tonight at 10 on ATV.
Honest to God, with lots of awareness, that could be Nana.
They're back. It's the Cape Breton Summertime Review. We've got Caper Capers tonight, live at 5.
Now, from the ATV News Center at every city and town in the Maritimes, this is the ATV Evening News, live at 5.
Hi, everybody. It is Thursday, June the 9th. I'm Nancy Regan, and I guess it's quite obvious that Cape Bretoners are going to be taking over the show tonight, live at 5.
That's right, Nancy. We are, all the way from the pier. I'm Bill Jessam, standing in for vacationing Paul Minier. We're going to visit with good folks at the Cape Breton Summertime Review later on this evening.
All right, and we're going to have fun. In the meantime, here's a look at some of the stories our ATV reporters are working on for tonight's show.
I'm Barbara Michelle Jessam on a class trip to the zoo. If you'd like to know about it, watch my father coming up on Live at 5.
The worms on my hand are 10 caterpillars. They're quickly devouring the leaves off the trees in this city. I'm Laverne Stewart in Fredericton. Join me later for more.
I'm Kate Letterick in Fredericton, where the moose is loose. I'll tell you more coming up on Live at 5.
Also ahead tonight, there's a new way to get rich quick in the Maritimes, but is it any easier? We'll check out Super 7 later.
Well, sure. What's your name?
Country album, ladies and gentlemen.
Thousands of country music fans are getting into the swing of things at the star-studded Fanfare 94. We'll tune it in.
And later, ATV's on your side. Tonight, it's a dirty job, but somebody had to do it. Yvonne Colbert's got the scoop later.
And we'll have more coming up on Live at 5. But first, Steve Murphy is working on the news at 6. Good evening, Steve.
Thank you, Bill. Good evening to you. Good evening, everyone. After a number of false starts, the jury has now begun hearing evidence in the first-degree murder trial of George William Pitt. He is accused in St. John of killing his girlfriend's daughter, 6-year-old Samantha Dawn Toole. Story at 6 o'clock. Also tonight in your evening news, Canadians have some very serious concerns about crime. Tonight, the sort of story that'll tell you why. An elderly woman is sexually assaulted in broad daylight. Is it a sign of the times? Tonight at 6. And also, it turns out all is not clear at Cisco after all. The Nova Scotia Environment Department now admits it made a mistake about those PCB levels in the wake of the big fire at the steel mill. We have the latest on their findings and reaction coming up at 6 o'clock. Right now, though, meteorologist Steve Weigel. Quick look at the Weather Center forecast. Here he is.
Thanks, Steve. Looks like a beautiful evening across the Maritimes, with the exception of the eastern parts of the region. They'll see showers pull out during the night. Sunny skies for tomorrow, and that will continue through the weekend. I'll give you the complete weather forecast later in the show. Steve.
Okay, weather at 5:30, and then at 6 o'clock, all the day's top stories, including for sale signs. You know, they're sprouting up on front lawns all over the Maritime provinces. But is this really the best time to sell or buy a home? What kind of a price can you expect? And what about some long-term interest rate concerns? We've got hints for house hunters tonight in the evening news at 6. Right now, back to Live at 5.
Thank you, Steve. First at 5 tonight, good news. Less than 2 weeks till the official beginning of summer, and there are lots of signs of the season around the Maritimes. As we've found tonight, some of them have 4 legs or more.
Interesting. And Nancy, for kids in school, it's the time of year they stare out the window, daydream, of course, and wish they could be out playing. And some of them feel like animals in a zoo. So what better way to let them blow off a little steam than a class trip to the zoo? That's what the kids from Waverly Memorial Elementary near Halifax did today, and our Fons Jessam went along.
The Oaklawn Farm Zoo is a hands-on kind of place.
He opened his mouth at me. Well, I like the tigers a lot, and the lions, and I also like the deer and the swans, and I like feeding the animals. I learned that there's different species that are endangered and some that aren't, and my favorite were the billy goat.
Kids can see animals they are familiar with, and some they're not.
Well, I like the tigers and the horses and I like patting them and feeding them.
Did you learn anything new?
I learned what they eat.
It's a fun way to learn.
They will kiss him.
It's an African lion. Her name's Esther.
Hey. There.
She thinks she's bigger than what she is.
I like the monkeys and the tigers.
What about him?
Yeah, he's cute. Well, I like feeding the animals and the tigers and the camel and the zebras. There you go. Oh my God.
What are you doing, Esther?
One of the most interesting things about this zoo is that sometimes it's difficult to determine who is watching who.
I like the llamas, and I think it was fun.
Did you learn anything?
To eat faster.
Of course, this is a school outing. There will be homework.
It has great educational value, and we've dealt with animals throughout our themes this year.
And the children also have booklets that they are going to work on as follow-up activities for our trip today.
The animals here are pretty tolerant, and they pretty much have to be. There were 17 school tours here today alone. The operators of the farm say that's about average for this time of year. At the Oaklawn Farm Zoo, Phonce Jessom, ATV News.
Well, you know, some animals know their place, but not all. It was an unusual morning for the Fredericton Police Force. Early this morning, they got a call that there was a fugitive on the loose in the city. The male suspect was making his way across the city, and it took all their skills to track him down. And when we say track down, we mean track down. ATV's Kate Letterick has more. Kate?
The call came into the Fredericton Police Force just after 7 o'clock this morning. A fugitive was loose on the streets of the capital city.
Dispatch stated that it was heading down Queen Street downtown, so we headed out that way.
Police tracked the suspect through the downtown area and across the St. John River. Dazed and confused, the outlaw ran for an open field on the city's north side. The police were not able to give us an artist's composite of the suspect, but they did give us this file mugshot. Okay, so it wasn't a dangerous criminal. It was a year-old moose. Were you amazed at how much stamina he had?
Yeah, because while we were getting the boat, one of the officers had mentioned that he had stopped about halfway through the river, but I guess he was just resting, and we assumed maybe he would have laid down when he got on the other side, but he just kept going. I think
the moose finally made a dash for the woods in a field across the street from Agnes Doucette,
we had no
who was
radio
surprised
on.
by all the commotion.
I said, there's something going on around here. I said, look at all the cars. And everybody was looking towards the field. I said, there has to be something going on. But what it was, I said, why don't you get out and find out what's going around here?
Giles Henry was also wondering what all the fuss was about. You thought it might have been a manhunt, not a moose hunt.
A manhunt instead of a moose hunt.
Thankfully, this story has a happy ending. The moose made it into the woods on his own, and he didn't have to be tranquilized. He hasn't been heard from since. And for the Fredericton Police Force, it was another case solved.
You know, unusual call. One of those things, you never know what's going to happen in this job, and it was certainly an experience this morning. So.
In Fredericton, Kate Letterick, ATV News.
Well, from four-legged animals to creepy crawly things, they're a part of spring, certainly. Forest tent caterpillars are devouring the leaves from many of the trees in Fredericton. ATV's Laverne Stewart has the story.
You can't even stand still, and your shoes will be covered. It's just incredible. Like he's making his way to the tree right now.
Joining its countless caterpillar cohorts in stripping the leaves from many trees in Fredericton and frustrating many more homeowners. So what did you do with these guys in your backyard?
We tried to burn them, but it didn't work. Like, we burnt the nests and that before they even started coming out, but our trees are still covered with them. So obviously the burning, I don't know if it just burnt the netting on the outside, but they still survived it.
It's damaging for sure. They really clean the tree. They don't leave until all the leaves are gone either. And they love the poplar trees the best.
Michael Barrett would love to get rid of the tent caterpillars in the city. You see, like many people, he's afraid of the fuzzy bugs.
At least I don't have to walk through them all the time, except when I mow, they're sometimes dangling here, and that, you know, they give me the shivers.
You don't like these bugs?
No, I don't. No.
5-year-old Josh doesn't mind them a bit.
What's good about them?
They don't bite.
They're kind of fuzzy, too.
I just like them because they feel real soft.
Look closely at this branch and you'll see that it's covered in these caterpillar tentworms. What they do is eat the leaves right off the trees, and the trees quickly die thereafter. Experts aren't sure why, but the severity of the infestation depends largely on food supply, weather conditions, and disease.
Back in 1983 and a few years before that, the scale of the infestation really touched base from as far north as Edmundston to south of Fredericton, which is considerably larger than this one.
There isn't much you can do to get rid of them now that they're in the midway point of their defoliation period.
There are pesticides and certain things available that are available to homeowners, but usually you have to apply them fairly early to have any amount of impact. And at this point in the outbreak, it may be getting a bit too late.
The caterpillar invasion will continue for another 2 weeks. Now, Nancy, the caterpillars will become pupa in the next couple of weeks, and then by July, we'll have moths flying all over the city of Fredericton.
Oh, now there's a lovely thought. So, Laverne, the experts say there's really nothing that can be done?
Well, Nancy, the homeowners are trying things like burning the trees, but they say that's really dangerous because you could be damaging the trees, and in the later stages of the summer, you could be causing forest fires. Now, also, they try to wrap tin foil around the trees and then grease them up, but that also damages the trees. So, really, at this point, you just have to live with them.
Does it look like it's going to be a problem that will affect the rest of the Maritimes?
Well, that's hard to say. Now, these bugs, they do travel, they do migrate, but at this point, it looks like it's just contained to the Fredericton area. We'll have to wait and see.
All right. Thanks a lot, Laverne.
Okay.
I guess at least it's a sign of summer coming. Meteorologist Steve Weigel will have the weather for us a little later, and hey, it's good news. Here's Bill.
Thank you, Nancy. Coming up, there's a new lotto on the block. Could be it's your ticket to fame and fortune. We'll check it out next. And a different kind of ticket. Let's just say your chances of winning a jackpot with this one are pretty slim indeed.
If you got a ticket, a legit ticket, you should have to pay it no matter what province you got in, I think, personally. But I don't think it should totally affect your driver's license for that province.
The Coppers Crackdown next on Live at 5.
Hey, school's out for the summer for high school students in St. John. Jeremy Condren celebrated the last day by playing his guitar on the lawn of St. John High. He's accompanied by friend Scott Murray. Sounding good, guys. Well, there's a new lottery game being played in the Maritimes this week, and the first jackpot could be won by someone tomorrow night. But what are your chances of winning? Live at 5's Alan Johnson standing by to help us out on that question. Alan.
Well, Nancy, you're right. It is a Friday night contest. The draw will be every week, and it's called Super 7. Now, it seems Maritimers are just as excited about the novelty of the new game as they are about their chances of winning it.
Get your tickets now for Lotto Super 7, Friday night super new lottery. The jackpot builds until it's won. Who knows how high it will go?
Super 7 has been promoted around the region for the past week and a half. But has the promotion succeeded in convincing Atlantic Canadians to try it? Or are they sticking to their old favorite lottery game?
It's a new one. I figure I have maybe a better chance. I've been playing the 649 for a long time, but I'll still play the 649, but I think I'd like to try that also.
Maybe I'll have more luck here. Not too much luck in the Lotto 649.
So you'd be persuaded to try the Super 7 for a few weeks?
Yeah, for a few weeks.
Do you think you'll maybe switch from 649 over to Super 7 if it works out?
Well, if I win, I could. It's going to depend, but it could be.
Well, I'll buy maybe a Super 7 along with it. I'll still stick to 49.
The chances of winning a jackpot in Lotto 649 are greater than they are for the new Super 7. But to offset that, Super 7's jackpots, when they are won, will be larger jackpots, and that's not the only difference between the two.
The attraction of Super 7 is that there's lots of chances to win the smaller prizes. So Saturday morning when people wake up with their Super 7 tickets, we think that they'll probably be cashing in for more tickets for the next draw.
But with Atlantic Lotto now operating 9 different games, are we becoming a region that's addicted to lotteries?
No, we like our lottery games, and I think we play in moderation, but when we match up against Ontario, Quebec, or out west, we certainly don't play to the extent that they do.
So Nancy, while there may be concerns that we Maritimers are becoming addicted to lotteries, it appears that's not the case. We're just in it for the fun of it.
All right, Alan, now I need you to crunch some numbers for me. Just how are the chances, the odds of winning cash in Super 7 as compared to 649?
Well, Super 7, you can pick up some cash, and your odds are 1 in 30. Now, for 649, your odds are 1 in 53 of picking up some non-jackpot cash. The idea here is to have the jackpot turn over less often in the Super 7, so it builds up. And as it builds up, you have a bigger jackpot, so when you do win, all kinds of cash, as opposed to 649, which gets won on a more regular basis.
Now, tomorrow night's the first night. How big is the jackpot?
Well, it's going to be at least $2.5 million. They won't know the exact amount of the win, but at least $2.5 million. And once all the ticket sales are calculated, they'll know the exact amount. But like I say, at least $2.5 million doesn't sound too bad.
All right. Yeah, I don't know about you, but it sounds good to me.
Got my ticket.
Thanks a lot, Alan.
Thanks.
That's tomorrow night, the first draw for Super 7. Bill.
Thank you very much, Nancy. The National Transportation Minister is cracking down on parking and speeding ticket procrastinators. New legislation to the Nova Scotia Motor Vehicle Act will ensure that if you owe money on a ticket, you won't be able to get a new one. ATV's Tiffany Hussey is standing by.
Bill, with this new program, if you have any motor vehicle charges in another province, this new legislation will bring it up on your local record.
And anything else having to do with motor vehicles, you will have to pay up what you owe.
You'll either have to pay what you owe, or you'll have to go to court and have it cleared. Either be found not guilty. It will have to be cleared off the system prior to doing any transaction with the Motor Vehicle Department.
Halifax police say the amendment to the Motor Vehicles Act will make drivers more conscientious on the road.
98. Okay, let's do it.
Probably a good idea to keep people in sync, I guess, make sure that they're not speeding on the highways. I shouldn't have been speeding, and I didn't realize.
We're looking more at people coming into our provinces, driving responsible, and also Nova Scotians that are leaving our province. The point system will kick into effect when they return back home. The same will happen if we catch someone from out of province speeding in Nova Scotia. Their record will go back to their home province, and it will affect the driver's license.
And the speeders and the parking offenders, what do they think?
If you got a ticket, a legit ticket, you should have to pay it no matter what province you got in, I think, personally. But I don't think it should totally affect your driver's license for that province.
What about speeding? Same thing?
Same thing, I think.
Pathetic indeed, quite absurd. I think that your record should be localized, if it's in this region particularly, and you're informed. There are bigger things that we should be talking about rather than parking ticket, the mafia, drug abuse, and other things like this.
This new national program includes all motor vehicle infractions, including speeding, passing a school bus on the road, and even leaving the scene of an accident.
Tiffany, if you live in another province, can you get away without paying a ticket?
Not really, Bill. That's basically what they say. The whole purpose is if you do the vehicle crime, you'll pay the fine, or either that or lose points off your license. So.
Okay, Tiffany, thank you very much. I guess we're moving up with the times with other provinces and certainly other states in the United States. Nancy.
Thank you, Bill. I'm really being upstaged here. I have to say, a couple of our friends from the Cape Breton Summertime Review have dropped in. We're going to be talking to them more later.
Hi, dear.
How are you doing, Mary?
Good, dear. How are you?
Good, dear.
Good.
And Geraldine?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
We've never met before.
No, I found this over there. I thought it was an ice cream cone, but I don't think. Don't mind her, dear. She's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but she's sweet.
What do you think about Bill Jessup?
Where is he? I was just looking for him. Bill who? Bill Jessup. He's a hunk. I heard he's a handsome man. I can't see with I wear my glasses. Never mind. Keep your hands off him, dear. He's mine. I hope Gordy's not watching.
Oh, dear. Hey, we'll be back with these guys a little later. Coming up on Live at 5, Deanie bats 1,000, and Donald turns 60. Plus, we have a country music fan's dream vacation, and we'll take you there when Live at 5 returns.
You walked in, I should have walked out, but it's a little too late to do the right thing now.
Welcome back to Live at 5. I guess you could call this a really big celebration. Donald Duck's 60th birthday turned into a car show in Japan today. Nearly 1,200 cars formed a huge profile of the cartoon character. The cars were lined up in special formation at Tokyo's Disneyland theme park according to their color. White cars made up Donald's feathers. Black ones formed his eyeballs. Of course, more than 14,000 car owners had initially applied to take part in the event.
And Nancy, from Donald to Deanie now, one of ATV's top talkers, celebrated a milestone today. The Deanie Petty Show is 1,000 episodes old tonight. And from the famous faces of the big and the small screen to the dramatic stories that amaze us all, you can count on one Deanie to tell it all.
Isn't she great? And that is a terrific milestone. Lots more success we wish to her. Just one milestone to tell you about today. Mrs. Gertrude Latham, who resides at Queen's Manor in Liverpool, is celebrating her 102nd birthday today. Her daughter, son, 2 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, her brother-in-law, and nieces and nephews, and many friends are helping her celebrate today. Best wishes to Gertie from all of us here in the ATV newsroom, and to anyone who is celebrating a special day in their lives today.
Nancy, do you know that the Country Jamboree in Rodeo, is Rodeo or Rodeo? Rodeo is a street in Hollywood.
That's where we shop, yes, of course. Rodeo.
And it's heading to the Maritimes this summer. Organizers are calling it the greatest family entertainment weekend of the summer.
Very, very proud that this is a celebration of Canadian country. All of the performers are the best in Canadian country music.
That's right. Some of the performers are the best from Atlantic Canada: Ron Hines, Terry Kelly, Ashley McIsaac, John Gracie, and many more. 3-time Juno Award winner George Fox is the headline act. It's not just 3 days of country music, though. There will be a professional rodeo competition, a country market fair, plus a variety of children's activities. And the event runs from July 29th to the 31st at Exhibition Park, just outside of Halifax.
All right, and speaking of country music extravaganzas, just want to remind you of the huge Canada Day celebration planned for Parley Beach in Shediac. Despite some objections from local residents and businesses, apparently Country Jam is right on track. The promoter, the province, and the town of Shediac have agreed on the logistics, and it promises to be a big party as always. Now, still with country music, one of the signs of summer, at least in Nashville, is the arrival of thousands of country music fans for fanfare.
And you know, Nancy, the 23rd annual festival is now in full swing, and you know who's there? Billy Tush.
All right.
When the folks who make country music invite the folks that love it to come on down, they do, and they keep on coming. An estimated crowd of 24,000 were expected this week in Nashville for Fanfare, or as it's sometimes called, the Love Fest.
Yeah, I think it's remarkable that people drive hundreds and thousands of miles to express to a musician how a song moved them.
This year's current chart buster, Tim McGraw, remembers when it wasn't so long ago.
This is probably about my 3rd fanfare, but it's the first one nobody's asked me to clean up afterwards. Country fans are the most loyal dogs in America. I mean, they'll stand out here if it's 103 and blister, or like today it was raining and they were standing out in lines. They don't care.
What's your name?
Robert.
Like Toby Keith, for Faith Hill, being a star at Fanfare is something new.
I have been here for 7 years, actually, but I've been selling T-shirts and things for other people, so this is my first year to have my own booth.
And maybe by now you're asking, who are these fans, and why do they do it? Spending your vacation standing on line for an autograph?
Yes. She's gonna marry that boy someday.
Looks like fun, and lots of country fun coming to the Maritimes this summer. There's lots more to come in the second half of Live at 5 tonight, including a marvelous meteorological menu from Steve Weigel. He'll feed us the details in just a few minutes.
And we also have these stories coming up.
I'm Dan McIntosh in New Glasgow, where a basketball net and some junk
bring an important environmental message. I'll have more later on Live at 5.
I'm Yvonne Colbert on your side. If you saw my report last night, you can now see what a difference a day makes. The rest of that story is coming up later tonight on Live at 5.
Look, dear.
Who's that over there?
Steve.
Let's go over and say hello to Stephen.
What do you think, dear?
I don't know. I like this place. It's big, it's large, and it's got lots of lights.
I think Nancy could stand to put on a couple of pounds.
Honest to my God, yes.
Hi, dear. How are you?
Oh, we have more news here than we know what to do with.
Is that right?
It's true.
What's this now?
That there's a funny-looking television you've got, Stephen.
It's an old black and white model.
It is too, isn't it?
All them fellas with the cameras are some handy, aren't they?
Oh, my God. Look at that giant skipping rope they've got on the floor. Now, what's that?
That's a cord.
That's a cord.
Yeah, it's a bee cord.
They're funny, they're frantic, and they've hit the mainland. The Cape Breton Summertime Review later on Live at 5. Stay with us.
We're going palm up, that's forehand, right? We want to be hitting the ball up. Now we want to go with our palm down, so it's the backhand side, okay?
Welcome back to Live at 5. Pros like Mark Lever of the Nova Scotia Tennis Association are making quite a racket about their sport this week. The gym at Whitney Pier Memorial Junior High is just one of several school venues where aspiring players are being introduced to the game. Oh, good shot. It is Canadian Tennis Week, and if you're already a player, it's time to get back on the course. And oh yes, don't forget to bring the kids. Did you ever play tennis? You didn't?
Well, yeah, no. They're all little Steffi Grafs there.
Well, you never know.
Did I play tennis in Whitney Pier? Probably in the side of a building, I think, yeah. We did, yeah.
Okay, in that case, I'll challenge you to a match.
Okay.
Sounds safe. Thanks, Bill. The weather ahead looks really good, you know.
A good weekend, great
Steve Weagle's
weekend.
promising wonderful things for the, I think, 4th weekend in a row. How does it look, Steve?
Yeah, it looks pretty good, Nance. We've got lots of sunshine coming up for the weekend. I know you're a big tennis fan, and tennis weather is certainly on its way across our region. Here's the big satellite picture up over the Americas, and we've got a couple of systems, some thunderstorms along the equator. We've got a system up in the southeast of the U.S., which we'll see clearly in a second, and some cloud extending down the eastern seaboard and up into Newfoundland and Labrador, closer to home. Here's that system. Severe weather being reported through the southeast of the U.S., extending into the Carolinas. It's all pushing southeastward. It won't affect our weather at all, but some severe weather connected with this system. High pressure for the most part through Ontario and the northeast, and that's pushing eastward into our region, and we'll see that for the weekend. Nice sunny skies. But we've got a low pressure system up over Newfoundland and Labrador, bringing down small disturbances through the day today, and that's why regions around the Northumberland Strait and Cape Breton saw showers during the day and periods of rain in some areas. But that'll all clear out during the night tonight, and we'll see sunny skies for tomorrow. Closer to home now, we've got mainly clear skies across the Maritimes, with the exception of eastern and northern regions, and some enhanced precipitation over northern areas, and that might come down over the night and give us a few more showers, but for the most part, clear skies for the Maritimes tonight. Put the satellite loop into motion, and we can see these small systems push through during the day today and give us some showers. They'll move from the north and Maritimes. For the most part, they're out, but we will see a few more showers across some of the eastern regions overnight tonight. So the forecast then, for everyone in the Maritimes, we'll see lingering showers across the eastern and northern regions, but they'll push out along with any cloud that remains, and we'll see mainly clear skies during the night. Cool temperatures, though, 4 to 5 degrees in New Brunswick, 5 and 6s for Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia during the night. But not a risk of frost, though, because the winds will keep out 20 to 30 kilometers an hour, and that'll eliminate any risk of frost during the night. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. It looks like a beautiful day. We'll see some lingering cloud, though, across the eastern regions and a chance of an afternoon shower. Temperatures tomorrow quite nice. Warmest temperatures in the inland of New Brunswick, 19s and 20s. 15 for Charlottetown, the rest of Prince Edward Island. 15 to 18 degrees for Nova Scotia during the day. And as we head into the weekend, not only will it be sunny, but nighttime temperatures will also be very warm. We're looking at great weekend for camping if you're interested. 21 degrees and sunny on Saturday, up 2 degrees on Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud, and Monday we're back to the showers for the start of the new week and back to 20 degrees. And that is your weekend weather. Nance.
All right, Steve, keep up the good work. Now, a question for you. What do you get when you cross a basketball net with National Environment Week? Well, of course, you get a Slam Dunk Your Junk contest, where participants are marked on style, grace, and creative ways to put that trash through the hoop and in the can. as we hear from Dan McIntosh, there's an important message behind all this enviro fun.
Okay, would all contestants please come over and have your practice shots now, please?
In Slam Dunk Your Junk, players are supposed to slam pop cans through the hoop and into the recycling bin. It was obvious that while the cans weren't rusty, some of the players were.
Let's go.
Kim, you missed.
Wanted to hit the backstop.
You missed, Kim.
I come nowhere as close. I have to. What do I got? They're giving me a -4 and a 5. Average that out for me, please, and take my height into consideration.
Here he goes. And he gets it.
Others looked like pros.
First of all, you have to go home and find yourself a nice, good-sized soup bowl. And after you get to the soup bowl, you can move up gradually into pots, pans, buckets, and finally into the big hoop. I mean, you can't walk up to a hoop like this and expect to be able to dunk.
It was tremendous. There was nothing like it with that. All I had to do was look at it, and I knew I was going to do very well in my dunking contest.
It promotes physical fitness, and it helps people get active and
remember to pick up garbage.
Yeah.
This contest is meant to be fun, but there is an environmental message that organizers are hoping is not lost on the participants.
We're encouraging people to recycle, compost, and help keep the environment clean.
We had an old trophy in the office that we had from another year, and we just unscrewed that and used it. And Robin has a recycle bin for cans and paper in the office throughout the whole summer, so we just took some old cans from that and crushed them and put them together, and Big Al's over town donated us a plaque to put on the front of it. Congratulations, Dan McDonald, on your Slam Dunks Your Junk. You're the champion.
I did win, Dan.
I did win.
You didn't get anyone. You didn't get any in.
I think, I got one in, the first one. Yeah. I got all the dunks in. I didn't miss the garbage pail at all.
Of course, the real winner was our environment and our future. In New Glasgow, Dan McIntosh, ATV News.
And speaking of the future, I guess it's a great idea to make it fun for the kids so that they associate it with fun in the future.
You know what they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I can skip any time, kid. But as far as I can, I separate all that stuff. I think you have to.
You are environmentally friendly at home?
Absolutely. You think I'm going to have those garbage guys looking at my house and saying, he's not with it at all.
All right. Hey, congratulations, Bill. You're setting a good example for all of us. Up next on Live at 5, dig this. Yvonne Colbert's got good news for a maritime man who brought his problem to ATV on your side.
This is 3 times I've been assured that it would be done by week's end, 3 different weeks, over the past 6 weeks.
What a difference a day makes. The story when Live at 5 continues. Stay with us.
It was a good day for a pre-graduation car wash in Moncton, and these members of the city's Youth Corps program were scrubbing up a storm for customers this afternoon. Youth Corps members are people aged 16 to 24 who've gone back to school for academic upgrading. The money raised will help pay for their graduation party. And we're going to talk now to a graduate of, I guess, St. John, right?
Of St. John High, Bill, yeah. And you're a graduate of what high school is it?
Whitney Pier.
Whitney Pier High.
What's working at? Of course. What's working on at 6?
Well, we have a busy news day, Bill, including the details of the deal that averted the teacher strike in Nova Scotia. We're going to let you know just how much the teachers are giving up and why some of them aren't so happy about it. Also, what it could mean to your kids. Also coming up tonight in the evening news at 6 o'clock, the very latest from the trial of accused child killer George William Pett. After a couple of false starts, the jury is now finally hearing the evidence against this man charged with killing this little girl. Also on your ATV evening news at 6 tonight, there are new concerns about crime in the wake of a brazen, broad daylight attack on an elderly woman in a Halifax neighborhood. We have the details and much more coming up tonight on the ATV evening news at 6, right after Live at 5, which continues now on your side, guys.
Thank you, Steve. And tonight we've got an ATV on your side happy ending.
That's right, Nancy. Now, if you remember, this story concerns an item that we aired last night about a job started by the Nova Scotia Department of Transportation months ago, but never completed.
Well, I got a call from my brother this morning who'd driven by, and he told me that there was a lot of activity out here on Old Beaverbank Road.
And when Alan Gillis drove out to look at his property, sure enough, there was lots going on. It was just yesterday that he contacted On Your Side about the state of this land. The Nova Scotia Department of Transportation had started work in front of and on his property at least 8 months ago, but nothing more had been done since, leaving it looking like this.
3 times I've been assured that it would be done by week's end, 3 different weeks, or for the past 6 weeks. And it's now gotten to the point where it's just, it's in the summertime now, and I would think that it would have been done by now.
After he contacted On Your Side, we called the Department of Transportation yesterday. Today, spokeswoman Donna McCready told us the work has been scheduled all along to start today and be completed tomorrow. And the department's actions had nothing to do with the story we aired yesterday. As for Alan, he's surprised to see the work underway, but pleased that it's finally being done.
It looks 1,000% better than it did this time yesterday, I dare say, and they've got a few more things left to do. And at this point, all I can say is I'm happy it's getting done.
I don't blame him for being happy it's getting done, and that was quick action.
Should be all finished up by tomorrow, and he's kind of relieved. It's one less thing he has to worry about.
Terrific. That was after months and months, eh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good work. If you have a problem you think Yvonne may be able to help you with, here's how to contact her.
You can give us a call. The area code is 902. The number is 493-3404. You can leave a brief message on the machine, or you can write Post Office Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Postal code is B3J2Z4.
Thanks, Yvonne.
You're welcome.
Hey, look. There he is, dear.
There's that
When I
young
see her,
fella,
I get
that
when I see her, I get weak.
Let's go over
I don't
and
know
see
which
what he's
one.
doing over here.
Hi,
Those
dear.
Crazy capers. I thought
How
I got
are you,
rid of you.
dear?
I'm
Hello,
very well.
Bill. How are you?
It's
good to see you.
And you?
Charmed, I'm sure.
I remember another news guy you used to like, and now it's me, right?
What news guy? What other news guy? I don't know what you're talking
Steve
about.
Murphy. You guys...
We saw Steve and young Steve.
Sit down. Come here, sit down.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can get up that high, but I could lean.
How about dinner tonight?
Certainly. I'll cook.
We're coming back next. We'll be here.
I'll cook.
So what's going on? What are you doing tonight?
Apparently you're having dinner with her. Oh, it's not too much in my neighborhood, eh?
John Hugh, Jimmy Dan, past Wyndham Church, McDonald. John Hugh, Jimmy Dan, past Wyndham Church, McDonald. Who? Not Trace's brother, the one with the feet. No.
They're back. The crazy cast of the Cape Breton Summertime Review is on the road again. They may be coming soon to a town and a stage near you, but tonight they've taken over the ATV News Center.
Hi, dear.
Hey, welcome officially. And there they are, the whole
crew.
They're all here.
Frightening, isn't it?
Now, most Maritimers already know Mary Morrison, and we met Geraldine at the top of the show, or close to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Geraldine, you just joined this crew, did you?
Yes, I just joined last week. Yes, I got a job with them.
I see.
I like it very much. I like playing with the band.
Now, I guess you didn't have time to take those rollers out of your hair before the show.
Well, no, I like it like this. This is sort of my style. It's sort of a statement I'm making, you see. Yes.
I like it. It may
nice
catch on.
apartment. Nice apartment. Shame about the furniture. You know?
She's always fooling with me like that there.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, really.
Now, are you two good friends there in Cape Breton?
Yeah.
We are, yes. We go bowling together and things like that.
If I don't get out early enough, she usually catches up with me and we go together. No, just kidding, dear, just kidding.
Oh, she doesn't mean that she loves me.
I'm sure
Last
she
thing
does.
I said was keep your hands off Bill.
I know. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that, Bill Jessamine. And everybody loves the Cape Breton Summertime Review.
Well, that's good.
And this is really Maynard Morrison.
Yes.
And this is really Bette McDonald.
Yeah.
Yes,
And, oh yes, can we see the real personalities behind these costumes?
I normally don't wear this
Sure.
dress.
Maynard always wears a dress. Don't hold it against him.
I particularly like how my hair turns out after this.
That looks great. Really big news. The Cape Breton Summertime Review is off on a national tour again this year.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce us to the rest of the cast here? And tell us some secrets.
Secrets?
Good
Okay.
dirt.
Well, in that case, let's start with Max McDonald. Max, do you want to tell them or shall I?
You better do it.
Lovely to work with, that's all I'm saying. Drummer, Steve Gates.
Hey, Steve went to Santa Vex with me.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Oh, so you know all the stories there
I do.
are. But
We better not use them.
he's not boring, he just
Play us a little
plays
something there,
one.
Steve. Yes,
Yeah.
what is that you got?
It looks like a cheesecake, but it is an instrument.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going there.
And Doris Mason. Hi, dear.
Hi, Mom.
Isn't that sweet?
You'll have to hold
She's
the
a
mic
good
up to
kid.
her.
Hi, dear.
That's good.
There we go. And this is Sean McDonald.
Hi, Sean.
Hi. How you doing?
Everybody's got to say hi, Mom. Okay, keep going. Who we got here?
This is Krista Toinard from River Bourgeois.
Hi, Krista.
And the man in back there is the man we call the anchor, our bass player, Berkeley Lamy.
All right.
All the way from Pointe-a-Coney, Fred Lavery. And the craziest man in show business, Richard Burke. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He plays almost every instrument known.
Well, you all are so talented. If you haven't seen the Cape Breton Summertime Review, it's a real mix of comedy and music and just fun in general. How is it that it's become such a success nationally? Why is it caught on across the country?
It's hard to say. I think in most places that we go to, we see people from the Maritimes, and it's, for us, it's like, and for them, it's like us bringing a little bit of home to them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it feels, anyway.
Do you ever get tired of doing this?
Never. Love it.
What about you, Bet? Have you been with this group since the very beginning?
No, not since the very beginning. This is my 8th year. Is that right, Doris? 8th year? Or 9?
7, 8.
Something like that, yeah. So I haven't been here forever. Some of them have been there much, much longer. Well, they're much older.
Oh, of course. And can you switch right into Mary Morrison? How quickly can you get into character for Mary Morrison?
You're going to make me do
this,
this,
She is
aren't
your
you?
alter ego, isn't she?
All right, if I can get him to hold this mic, I'll show you how quickly it can happen.
Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. Oh, he can't do a drum roll,
he can't
too.
beat the drum and hold the mic.
Cape Breton's answer to the Saturday Night Live.
Can we have a little music to prepare here, guys? Here we go. Improv on Live at 5.
The Dance of the Veil.
Oh, here she goes. A little fiddle music, please.
She's much quicker on the radio.
Give us a step.
Here she goes. Sounds good. It is a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. You have a show tonight at the Halifax Rebecca Cohen, and I'm going to run through some of the other remaining maritime dates. They've started. You've already done a few, and I know they're successful so far. They're at the Cohen from tonight until the 15th. Then they're at the CEC in Truro, the 16th and 17th of June. At the Imperial in St. John, great new theater there, on the 19th. On the 20th, the Cape Breton Summertime Review plays the Playhouse in Fredericton. And then it's the Capitol in Moncton, the 21st and 22nd. Their Center 200, they take it over in Sydney, at home, 24th and the 25th. There is more Live at 5 to come. I'm out of breath from that reel there, Mary Morrison. Whew, we'll be right back with ATV's Thursday night primetime lineup and Steve Weagle's Wake Up Weather. But first, some high-flying fun. Up, up, and away when Live at 5 returns.
You know, Nana walked one time 60 miles just to buy a stamp.
Imagine.
Yes, she did. And never wore shoes.
Is that right?
Never wore shoes.
Look, there wouldn't Gordy love this, eh? Look at all the TVs in here.
Oh, yes. I wonder if they're playing Nintendo or anything like that there.
He'd be right in his element, eh?
Oh, yes, I guess he would.
Oh, yeah.
He's in his element all the time.
Yeah, just beautiful.
Where's that Stephen?
I don't know.
Don't worry, Nancy. Stand by 3 and go to 3.
All right, thanks. Lots of fun happening in our ATV control room tonight. They're not really used to that much activity in there, are they?
Should have them do the weather.
Well, of course, you know, those were the folks from the Cape Breton Summertime Review, and we gave you the dates. It is a lot of fun if you get a chance to catch the show. As you know, our ATV cameras are everywhere, and when a hot air balloon took off on the Halifax Commons this morning, ATV videographer Chris Murphy was there, so let's go.
As the song
up,
says.
And away.
Hey, you'll feel a little bit of heat at first, but that'll go away.
Yeah.
Me too. Please, Captain. friends are just waking up now. Mine too.
How is it up there, Lord? It's great. Kind of scared.
We're about 300 feet.
There you come down to the ground. Soft landing to newfound friends.
Thanks for going.
Some gorgeous sights, and that wasn't just a lot of hot air, so to speak. That balloon is floating around the Maritimes right now, raising awareness and money for the Children's Wish Foundation of Canada. A great cause.
Great, and you know, bright sunshine, blue skies this evening, sunshine tomorrow, balloons can fly all over the place. Right, Steve?
That's right, Bill. We've got beautiful weather headed our way for the weekend. Here we go with the big picture over North America, lots of clear skies back to our west, and it's all headed in our direction. It looks like a great weekend. We've got a low pressure system right now, though, and it's bringing down some clouds and showers, and we're going to see, okay, well, your wake-up weather, mainly clear skies. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Steve. Sounds like a good time for hot air ballooning.
That's
What's
right.
on prime time tonight?
Well, at Full House at 6:30, Murphy Brown at 7, Itsy Bitsy Spider at 7:30, followed by ENG at 8, Cafe Americana at 9, Sinbad at 9:30, In the Heat of the Night at 10, and then at 11, it is W5.
Then on the Feel Good Friday edition of Live at 5, we'll take you behind the scenes of a unique cultural event that attracts thousands of Maritimers every year. Food, fun, and festivities. Tomorrow on Live at 5. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Bill.
Pleasure.
See you again tomorrow night. We'll have just as much fun or more. The news continues now with Steve Murphy. Steve.
Thank you, Nancy and Bill. Tonight, deal details. What Nova Scotia teachers are being asked to give up.
It's a very significant contribution, but it's necessary in order to preserve the school system.
Pitt prosecution, evidence in the trial of an accused child killer. And revised results, reassessing the Cisco fire fallout.
When I first heard there was no PCPs, I was glad. Then now they're saying there is, and you just gotta be very careful, I guess.
Now, from the #1 news team in Atlantic Canada, the ATV Evening News.